What is going on, everybody? It is your boy Nothing But Skills, and today I'm bringing you another division video. Today's video is going to be focused on another build, and I've been trying to come up with this build for a while. The only reason I haven't been able to finish it is because I was waiting on one piece, and I finally got that piece from this global event. Now, since this global event is finally over, was an event that features Sentry's call, I felt it was only right to make a build video, and hopefully you guys can enjoy this build as much as I enjoyed it in the past. So before we get into the build, guys, I just want to say thank you guys for all your support. Remember, if you're new to my channel and this is the first time you're watching a video, hit that subscribe button. If you guys enjoyed this video, hit the thumbs up. If you have any questions, use the comment section down below. And one last thing, if you guys haven't already, head over to my Twitch account. Make sure you guys drop a follow. If you guys want to support that channel, you can always use your Amazon Prime account and set up Twitch Prime. It's a free way to sub to me, and you just have to resub once a month, but it's an easy way to give back to your favorite YouTuber. So if you guys want to head over there right now, I'll leave a link in the description box below. Make sure you guys hit that follow button. If you guys want to support the channel, hit that subscribe button. So let's get into the build. The first thing you're going to notice is my primary firepower is 525,000. That's firearms of 8,500. My toughness is 396,000. That's stamina 4,100. And my skill power is 88,000. That's electronics of 2,900. Now this is strictly a PvE build. I don't really see Sentry Call as a PvP build, even in a support role position. I feel like this build is best used for PvE. And this build is going to be strictly set up for PvE. If you want to try this in PvP, you need to mess with the build a little bit. But I'm telling you, from my experience, Sentry Call is a better PvE build than PvP build. So we're going to focus on the PvE side only for this build. So what is Sentry Call? Well, let's get into what it does. Set bonus 2 gives you 30% accuracy. Set bonus 3 gives you 10% headshot damage. Set bonus 4 Sentry's Call headshots using semi-automatic weapons mark the enemy, increasing the damage inflicted on the target by 5% for a duration of 30 seconds each. A target can receive up to 3 marks, so that's an additional 15% extra damage for a total of 30 seconds each target. Now, set bonus 5 is going to give you an additional 15% accuracy and an additional 15% headshot damage, so that's a total of 45% accuracy and a total of 25% headshot damage. Now set bonus 6 is where this build gets a little bit better. NPC's targets can now receive up to 6 marks, so that's 5% each mark, so that's a total of 30% extra damage per target. After 1 mark, every headshot on the target has a 50% chance to spread a single mark to an additional target within 25 meters, and then at 6 marks, your headshot damage on the target is increased by 100%. So as soon as you get that extra 30% damage on that target with 6 headshots, that's going to mark them up to 6 times, you're going to get an additional 100% headshot damage. So you're going to be hitting really hard to the head. So how do I have this build set up? So let's get into the chest piece. So for the chest, it's rolled firearms, it has health, it has enemy armor damage, and ammo capacity. Now for PvE builds, you always want to stack as much enemy armor damage. So as we go through the build, you're going to notice that I have enemy armor damage and I have damage to elites on almost every piece that can have it. So for my chest piece, it has enemy armor damage. For the mods, I'm running firearm mods with 4% damage to elites. Now this is the max damage to elites you can get on a purple mod, 4% damage to elites. So if you ever have a chance of picking these up and they're for sale on the vendor reset, I would highly recommend it. I picked these up a while ago. It has 193 firearms, which isn't the max, but it has the max roll of 4% damage to elites. For the mask, it's rolled firearms, it has enemy armor damage and damage to elites. This is the one piece for PvE that you should always have enemy armor damage and damage to elites on there. For the mods, I'm running firearm mods with 4% damage to elites. For the knee pads, the rolled firearms, they have enemy armor damage, they have shock resistance, damage to elites, and disrupt resistance. Now just like the mask, this one you can stack enemy armor damage and you can stack damage to elites. For the mods, they're firearm mods with 4% damage to elites, and then I'm running performance mod with 5% support station healing speed. For the backpack, it's rolled stamina because I want to have some kind of survivability with this build, and then the major attribute is health. I want to have a little bit more survivability, and then the minor attribute is 15% burn resistance. The mods I'm running are firearm mods with 4% damage to elites, and then performance mods with 5% support station healing speed. For the gloves, they're rolled firearms. They have health on kill, assault rifle damage, and enemy armor damage. Now since this is a PvE build, I felt like having some health on kill on there will help me out every time I kill an NPC. I'll get some health back, and of course I'm going to run assault rifle damage since my primary weapon is an urban MDR, and then enemy armor damage on your gloves. So the 2 key ones you want to have on here are assault rifle damage and enemy armor damage, and then the other talent, that is really up to you. I put health on kill here, but some people might put critical hit chance, some people might put critical hit damage. I'll leave that one up to you guys. For the holster, I left health as the major attribute. You could put skill haste on here or critical hit chance. I wanted to have a little bit more survivability, so I decided to keep health on my holster. there. Now for the weapon, the one semi-automatic weapon I highly recommend you guys grinding for and you guys using with this gear set is the Urban MDR, because marking your enemy up to 6 times is really easy with this weapon. It also has enemy armor damage because it is an assault rifle, and the base damage is pretty good. This one isn't fully optimized, but it's still really decent at 59,000. Now the talents I love running on this build, since I do stack a lot of headshot damage on this build, is brutal. Headshot damage is increased by 12% when using this weapon. I love having destructive on all my PvE builds because armor destruction value is increased by 15% when using this weapon, which is great towards NPCs and great towards fighting elite enemies. And of course, distracted, your damage is increased by 18% against targets with status effects. The way I have this Urban MDR modded is I have a C79 scope with 18% critical hit damage, 5.5 headshot damage, and 3% critical hit chance. I have a suppressor with 18% headshot damage, 4% critical hit damage, and 3% critical hit chance. I have a small grip with 19% critical hit damage, accuracy, and stability. And then I'm running an extended magazine with magazine size, critical hit chance, and critical hit damage. For my secondary, I'm running a shotgun. You could run an SMG. Just run some kind of close quarter combat weapon in this slot, just in case the NPCs get close to you. I choose the M8700 because it does hit the hardest. The damage on it is 168,000, and then it has a stagger rate of 352,000, and since this is a PvE build, that stagger rate will help towards NPCs. I love running accurate on here because it's going to increase my accuracy by 25% with this shotgun, along with the 45% accuracy I already have with this build because I'm running a 6-piece Sentry call set. Now it has destructive, just like I told you before. I love running destructive on my PvE weapons, and that is armor destruction values increased by 15% when using this weapon. And then another talent I love running on my PvE builds is ferocious. Damage against elite and named enemies is increased by 10%. So not only is this weapon going to hit hard, it's already hitting at 168,000. It's going to have a destructive value of an additional 15%, and then it has ferocious on there, so it's going to hit 10% harder on those elite and named enemies. The way I have this shotgun modded is I have a C79 scope with critical hit damage, optimal range, and critical hit chance. I have a vertical grip with optimal range, stability, and critical hit damage, and then I have extended magazine with magazine size, critical hit chance, and critical hit damage. For the skills, you can run this a couple different ways. I choose to run an overdose since I don't have a lot of skill power. It's going to heal me for 64,000. This is going to come back every 56 seconds. For my secondary, I like running the life support station. This is going to come back every 36 seconds, and it's going to heal me for almost 3,000 heal points per second. You could run this with a flame turret to help your Urban MDR hit a little bit harder. Since I don't really have any kind of healing on this build, I love running a recovery link. Now for the talents, if I'm in a group, I pretty much run the same talents when I'm in a group. I run triage, heal an ally with a skill to reduce skill cooldowns by 15%. I run critical save, use med kits during low health to increase damage resistance by 20% for 10 seconds. Combat medic, use med kits near allies to heal group members and proxies within 20 meters by 40%. And then of course strike back, reach low health to reduce active skill cooldowns by 20%. Now if you're not in a group, you can get rid of combat medic, you can get rid of triage, and then you just have to pick the talents you want. There's always good talents like steady hands, tactical advance, on the move. You really just need to find the talent that works good with your playing style. If we go into the character, you're going to see my critical hit chance on my Urban MDR is 9%. My critical hit damage is 70%, and my headshot damage is 156%. Now, one thing you have to keep in mind is every time you mark an enemy with 6 marks, you're going to get that additional 100%, so that will put me at 256% headshot damage. My accuracy on this build is 47%, and my stability is 2%. My damage to elite is 47%, and my enemy armor damage is 60%. That's why I'm telling you, stacking as much enemy armor damage on your build as possible is going to help you melt through those NPCs, and then having that damage to elite is going to help you with those elite and named enemies. For my survivability, my max health is 270,000. My armor mitigation is 31%, and that's because this build is not fully optimized. If I could fully optimize it, I'll get closer to 33%, which is what you guys want to go for if you want to use this build as your primary PvE build. My burn resistance is 15%, my disrupt resistance is 33%, and my shock resistance is 29%. So that pretty much wraps up this build, guys. This is how I run my Sentry call in PvE. Now, a lot of you guys might want to switch this up. Some people like running their Sentry call with their sniper build. I just feel that Hunter's Faith is a better sniper build than Sentry call, but Sentry call is a better build to run with the Urban MDR to build those stacks. So if you want to run a good build that's great with the Urban MDR and helps out your team a lot when you mark enemies, I would definitely choose Sentry call. So if you guys still have any questions, make sure you use the comment section down below. And remember, if you're new to my channel and this is the first time you're watching a video, hit that subscribe button. If you enjoyed this video, hit the thumbs up. And as always, guys, I thank you guys for all your support. You guys are amazing. And don't forget, if you want to watch me live, go over to my Twitch, hit a follow, hit a subscribe if you want to support that channel. I thank you guys again for all the support. You guys are amazing. We should be hitting 25,000 subscribers soon, and that means a face reveal will be coming shortly after. And there's a lot of things I want to bring to the channel, guys, that I can't do without having a face reveal. So once I do the face reveal, hopefully I can start integrating a lot of different things from vlogs to reviews. I just want to thank you guys again for all the support, And remember, if you don't see me in Last Stand, if you don't see me in Skirmish, if you don't see me in Dark Zone, it's only a matter of time. Nothing but skills is out.